On his very first day at work, Luca accidentally bumped into his female boss and spilled coffee all over her. Before she could even react, she grabbed him and dragged him into the stairwell. Luca had no idea what was going on, but he had no choice but to follow. When he stepped inside, he froze. Grace was unbuttoning her shirt and telling him to take his clothes off too. Luca thought he must have misheard her, but when he turned around, his boss had already taken her shirt off. He was completely lost. Grace kept rushing him to hurry up, so Luca took off his jacket. She snatched it out of his hands and threw it on herself. Turns out she had an urgent client meeting and needed a clean top to wear. She handed him her business card, told him to come by tomorrow to pick up his jacket, and walked out. She made it to her meeting without a hitch. Luca, on the other hand, spent the rest of his first day trying to cover himself up at his own orientation. The next day, Luca showed up at his new department. A coworker was introducing him to the department head. He turned around and stopped dead in his tracks. The department head was the same woman from yesterday. They both played it cool and pretended not to know each other. Later, a coworker pulled Luca aside and warned him, "Don't mess with Grace at this company. She will make your life miserable." But that night at the team dinner, Luca called Grace Auntie right in front of everyone. Grace was furious, but with all her coworkers watching, she kept it together, made up an excuse, and left early. Luca rushed after her to apologize, explaining that calling her auntie had nothing to do with her age. It was actually his way of saying she was sophisticated and charming, and just like that, her anger melted away. The next morning, Grace pulled up Luca's resume, looking for any reason to fire him, but his record was spotless. So instead, she started making things difficult for him at work. Luca didn't push back. After work, Grace noticed him walking behind her. She thought he was following her to get back at her, so she spun around and demanded to know what he was doing. Luca calmly said he lived nearby. Before Grace could even process that, she realized they lived in the exact same building.